Undergoing chemotherapy for cancer can be a frightening experience. There are lots of side effects to be concerned about, including nausea, hair loss, fatigue, pain, and bone marrow suppression, which could result in anemia, infection, or bleeding. So there are lots of issues to deal with, and EFT can be useful in helping to diminish the fear and potentially alleviate some of the side effects. We're going to combine emotional freedom techniques, or EFT, with color breathing, therapeutic shaking, and self-hypnosis with imagery and visualization. To start, we're going to use a setup phrase and rub on the sore spot. So the setup phrase will be, even though I'm afraid of chemotherapy side effects, I deeply and completely accept myself. So we're going to find the sore spot by going in the middle of the collarbone with your thumbs and go down onto the ribs until you hit a tender spot between the ribs. Pick whichever side hurts the most and mash in it with your thumb and say, even though I'm afraid of chemotherapy side effects, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of chemotherapy side effects, I deeply and completely accept myself. Even though I'm afraid of chemotherapy side effects, I deeply and completely accept myself. Now we're going to do some color breathing. So breathe in a healing color, and then breathe out a color that represents your fear. And we'll do this between every set of the tapping. Now we're just going to tap on that short phrase in the middle of the setup phrase, which is starting with the second, third fingers up on the eyebrow point, near where it comes toward your nose. It's a tender spot where a little nerve comes out. You're going to tap 5 or 6 times and just say, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Side of your eye, same thing, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Under your eye, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Under your nose, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. On your chin, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Crossing over to your collarbone bump, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Under your arm, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. And below your breast on the lowest rib you can find, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. And on top of your head, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Take another deep breath with those colors in and out. And then we're going to switch to the awfulize step, which is where you go deeper into your fears. And we'll list them all. So start with afraid of chemotherapy side effects on the eyebrow point, and then side of your eye, afraid of being nauseated under your eye, afraid of being fatigued underneath your nose, I'm afraid of losing my hair. Chin, I'm afraid of being in pain. Over to the collarbone, I'm afraid of bone marrow suppression, which could result in anemia or bleeding or even infection. Those are all my different concerns and fears. So deep breath in and out. Then we're going to switch back to the original side, and we're going to do the neutralize step and go back and forth. Have a little argument with yourself. So start with the eyebrow point again, the same phrase, afraid of chemotherapy side effects. Side of your eye, my body's going to be more resilient than I think. Underneath your eye, but what if I still get some side effects? Well, we're going to tap as many of them away as we can. But I've heard so many bad stories about it from my friends. Well, it doesn't have to be relevant to my situation. But I'm worried about my bone marrow getting suppressed. Well, we're going to tap into your bone marrow and support it in regenerating. Top of your head, I'm curious about how well I can get through this whole chemotherapy process. Deep breath in and out. We're going to switch hands and then we're going to focus on what you really want. So I want emotional freedom now. I want the chemotherapy to be targeted just to the cancer cells. And I want it to leave the rest of my cells alone. So I'm going to minimize the side effects and maximize my comfort level. And maybe I'll be comfortable more so than I think. Maybe most of my hair will stay in. Maybe I'll recover and get more energy faster than I expect. And I'm going to have fun healing myself in an unexpected way. Deep breath in and out. Keep breathing in and out. Your favorite color going in, flooding through your whole body. And as you see it go down, your hands, out your fingers, shake your fingers down by your side, let it go down your legs, into your toes, wiggle your toes, stomp your feet, chasing all the fearful color out of your body into the ground. And do that until you've shaken out everything you need to shake out. Then let yourself settle down, scan your body, see if there's some place where the fear is still stuck. And give it a color, and then breathe your favorite color down into that area. Now, go to your favorite healing place out in nature where you can spend time while you're going through this process to accelerate your healing. So once you're in that spot out in nature, look down on the ground around you to find a random object, which we're going to call your healing object or recycling tool. If you hold it in your hand, it will pull all the fear out of your body and also pull all the toxins of the chemo out of your normal cells and leave it just in the cancer cells. Once you've removed whatever needs to come out of your body, release that any way you want. Then invite your healing guide, spirit guide, to come and be with you during this process. Either an angel, a wise ancestor, or a spirit animal. Take the first one who volunteers. Ask them for some advice on how to go through this process and how to accelerate your healing. See if they have some words of wisdom for you. And then get in your time machine, go back into the past to a time long before your cancer diagnosis when you felt healthy and your body was comfortable and you had a sense of well-being. So go back to that time, soak up the energy whenever that specific time was. As if someone took a picture of you in that scene, go ahead and put a picture frame around it that has a particular color that reminds you of that feeling. So put that color around it, then breathe that color into your body wherever it needs to go. And once you've done that, then get back, put that picture up on your wall so you can tap into it anytime you need to, and then get back in your time machine and go to stories you've heard about chemo from your doctor or from other patients who've been through it, and start to reframe your reaction to that, thinking that was their experience, my experience is going to be something different. And I'm going to mobilize all my healing resources within my body to make sure I get through this as smoothly as possible. Now, go ahead and project yourself into the future and see yourself having gone through your first round of chemo and have come out the other side feeling better than you expect. So you're feeling comfortable in your body still, and your immune system and blood cells are being supported, and you have good energy. So put that out there in the future, and go ahead and imagine taking a picture of your future self in that state, and with the feeling of continued well-being, and put a color around that, a color frame, and breathe that color into your body as well. And put that picture up on the wall next to the one from the past, so you know where you've been and where you're headed as you go through this healing process. And then we'll do one more thing just to ground this experience, and we're going to do 3 steps to create some tension in your body. So squeeze your thumb and finger together, take a deep breath and hold it, and open your eyes wide. And when you're ready, let your hand relax, close your eyes, and blow the breath out all at once, and project yourself into that future picture frame, successfully having gone through your first chemotherapy session. And then you can use this again for every round of chemo that you go through. And so stretch and come on back from that experience. And then you can go ahead and use this recording as often as needed. And there are also two previous recordings. One is about dealing with the stress of cancer diagnosis. The other one is about going through cancer surgery. And there'll be two more in the future about going through radiation therapy and also about making choices about alternative therapies. You can find the previous videos at my website, larryburk.com or letmagichappen.com. It's the same site. There's also other videos there for other health concerns, including pain and immune conditions. And there's also TEDx talks and newsletters and blogs. So wishing you the best as you go through this process and come out healed on the other side.